Why make friends when you can make friends? In Mystara, you have so many ways to create your own minions, you're spoiled for choice. There are new varieties of golems, naturally, but why stop there? We've got ancient constructs whose secrets are lost to time. Remnants of ancient Blackmoor even walk around doing the bidding of masters long since turned to dust. You can make constructs from spells, alchemy, and of course by building them yourself. But enough talk. I'm Mr. Welch. Welcome to Mystara, and in just 7 days, I can make you a man. But first, I've actually got a sponsor. Well, the first sponsor who knew who I was by name and I didn't feel slimy about their product. Looking at you, Raid Shadow Legends. If anybody's looking to monetize your streams but you don't think you're good enough to stand out from the crowd, head over to GameShop's Basements, where they offer classes on how to be awesome as a game master. Now, you could try to hone your DM skills the old-fashioned way, but that could take years and cost millions of lives. If you're trying to become a paid streamer or a dungeon master, check them out. They also have free resources available for DMs needing new materials as well. And they are Mystara friendly, so that's a plus. GameShop's Basement, links in the description. Going in no particular order, we start with the Iron Gargoyle. These things aren't true gargoyles, comprised instead of spirits of a fire and earth elemental blended together into a large winged iron frame. The method of its enchantment makes it less than a happy camper. It is massive compared to a normal gargoyle, standing 12 foot tall on average. It can breathe fire, is quite stompy, and can take an absolute beating before going down. He can see invisible and has numerous immunities to magic, far more than normal golems. These are usually found in pairs when guarding places. Their downsides include a vulnerability to cold, being dumber than a stump when having to make decisions on their own, and because of their large frame, they aren't the most graceful creatures in the air. When it comes to new golems, we have several that started in the Mystara setting, though quite a few of these have been adopted into various other lesser settings. Mystara constructs have a simple premise. The easier it is to make them, the less intelligent they're going to be. This is apparent with the wood golem, which can be anything from an elaborate wooden statue carved from mahogany to a log with arms and legs. It's not the most intimidating creature, and don't expect it to follow orders past kill anybody who enters but me. Bone golems are one of the most common golems that originated from Mystara, resembling four-armed skeletons that are intentionally made to resemble undead. They're relatively easy to make, but fearsome warriors. Plus, the look on your face when the cleric tries to turn one is hilarious. Bronze golems are totally not ripped off from Greek mythology's Talos. Take a bronze body, fill it with molten iron, and let it go play patty cake with your enemies. The look on their face when they find out that blood is molten iron will bring a smile to your face. If you want to see this guy in action, just go watch the immortal scene from Ray Harryhausen's Jason and the Argonauts. Amber golems resemble large animals, and they're used for tracking and guard duty. They can see invisible and are one of the few golems that can smell. If you're a student at the Great School of Magic, and you forgot your homework, there's always the mud golem. It's probably the least powerful of any golem in any setting. It doesn't even share their immunity to normal weapons. It can sink into mud and reemerge. That's about it. It is easy to make, so that's its only selling point. Obsidian golems are specialized stone golems with slightly enhanced combat abilities. Their one unique attribute is the ability to talk. They can deliver messages and can have pseudo-conversations, though their dialogue is the fantasy equivalent of being pre-recorded. They aren't actually sentient, but they can give a large number of replies to appear that way. Rock golems are similar to stone golems, though slower, cruder, and designed to ambush their opponent. They do have the unique ability of being a weapon breaker. They can destroy any weapon that hits it, including magical ones. The more powerful the weapon, the more resistant it is to damage. If you have players that obsess with the action economy, then throw silver golems at them. They automatically roll maximum for initiative. They have 4 attacks. They can't be slowed. Fire heals them and cold damages them. These guys will jump all over a party quick. Moving on to Guardian Warriors. These guys resemble clay golems, only more elaborately carved. They are stolen straight from the terracotta warriors of China. You spend 1,000 gold on a magical substance and douse the construct. Unique to constructs, however, Guardian Warriors can be of any alignment based on what you used in the magical substance. The less wholesome the substance you use, the more evil your Guardian Warrior is. Human blood gets you bloodthirsty guardians, while holy water or wine get you wholesome guardians. If you give them an order that violates their alignment, they will ignore you or try to kill you. You can also craft them a guardian horse in the same method. While they aren't the most durable, they take minimal damage from non-bludgeoning weapons. As long as you can afford the process of making them, you can churn them out assembly line style. The Hupzine is one of the more original constructs of Mystara. They resemble pieces of jewelry, but are incredibly intelligent spellcasters. They can move on their own by hovering, though slowly. They are taught spells by their creator and regain use of those spells daily. They are used as spies, sentries, and bodyguards. They're often designed to serve as either magical artillery for the wizard, or as a second set of eyes by giving them detection spells. They're difficult to make, but they are common items among powerful wizards. One of the most iconic constructs found in Mystara are the living statues, also known as poor man golems. They are quite similar in style, though normally man-sized compared to the massive golems. They are much more intelligent, though far less durable. They can follow complex instructions and have some degree of reasoning. They come in a large variety of materials with built-in attacks and defenses. Steel and iron statues absorb metal weapons that hit them. Rock golems can spray magma from a built-in reservoir. Some wizards replace the magma with gray ooze just to be mean. Winged warriors are built with, obviously, wings, and they are known for being insufferably vain. Magen are another iconic Mystaran creature, being one of the few constructs created entirely through alchemical means rather than being built. They are one of the most intelligent constructs and are often sentient. They're totally loyal to their master, but when the master dies, there's a chance they gain complete free will. They can be a variety of colors, mainly again at the whim of their creator. They are uniformly bald with athletic builds. There's numerous varieties of them, and wizards constantly create new versions. Demos are the most common, having no special ability outside their normal magen ones. Galvan can channel electricity. Cauldron can stretch their limbs. Hypnos have psychic abilities. There are rumors of highly specialized versions used as shock troops by various powerful wizards. Etienne d'Amberville reportedly has magen that are immune to psychic attacks and uses them to squash mind flayer intrusions. Silver warriors are unusual, even by Mystaran standards. They are constructs created by the Fae, for the Fae. They resemble silver suits of full plate mail. Okay, resemble is the wrong word. If you can see invisible, then they look like normal suits of plate mail. These guys' whole shtick is they are naturally invisible. If you make one visible, next round he turns invisible again. You're not going to face these guys unless you somehow make it up to the floating isles of the Fodorne, the Fae guardians of neutrality. Silver warriors serve as their bodyguards at all time, and if you threaten a Faedorn, they will be on you quickly. They have magical silver swords, but good luck claiming one in battle. These guys are Fae. Kill it, and the warrior and all his gear melts away into nothing, only to reform later. Mannequins are magical creatures created by wizards as sort of a lab assistant. They are tiny, standing a few inches tall, comprised of wood and metal. They are harmless creatures, good at following their creator's instructions, but not much else. They have the ability to walk through wood and metal like it wasn't there. Useful when reaching a doorknob is an impossible task for you. They are bound to a single item, and if they move more than 100 feet from the item, they sicken and die in the course of a few days. While they have no attacks of their own, they have a defensive ability when they die. If they're killed by a melee attack, their killer has to make a saving throw or take a massive amount of damage from their death streak. If they're killed in any other way, the nearest creature has to make the save. So remember, when facing off against mannequins, you better hope you paid the archer back all the gold that you owed him. There isn't much left of Blackmoor technology in the thousands of years after its destruction. The most common creation from that period remaining has to be the mechs. These things are effectively combat robots with a vague resemblance to a frog-like humanoid. They are uniform. Every mech is the same shape and height, standing about 15 feet tall. They are resistant or immune to most magic. They heal quickly, though they are strangely vulnerable to the disintegrate spell. Mechs guard certain locations, though what they were originally guarding might be long gone. They track by motion. Standing still renders you invisible to them. The bounty for a fully functional mech would buy a medium-sized nation, but attempting to collect on the bounty is considered suicide. Phase stingers are small orbs that have two spikes protruding from it. They are known for their ease of construction, though many of the components come from the demiplane of nightmares. There are rumors of phase stingers designed to kill rather than paralyze their prey, but no one has ever seen one. The constructs are known for their ability to pass through walls, attacking from many angles. The original ones were created for a mysterious wizard who never had a name, but was remembered for dressing in black and being very old and quite tall. Skull wraiths are a common construct found in many wizard towers. There's not much to them outside of being a floating skull that passes messages back and forth. They can record conversations and repeat them back verbatim, making them useful for wizards researching arcane subjects. They have a few defensive mechanisms, but these are designed to stall enemies so they can escape. They are one of the first constructs young wizards learn to craft because of the ease of their construction. Heading over to the Savage Coast, there's a few constructs unique to that area. The ER, or the Winged Elves, are known for being master artificers when it comes to glass steel. The Eldar are animal-shaped glass-steeled golems that serve as guardians for ER burial tombs. They can assume any number of shapes, but spider is the most common. They come in a host of forms, though spider is the most common. They have multiple light-based attacks, and can even spin crystal webs that are incredibly fragile, and make a lot of noise when broken, making them perfect for detecting intruders. The Glassine Horror is a shape-changing construct that is intelligent for a golem, and possibly the only one with a self-preservation instinct. Its first shape is that of a pane of glass, which it uses to observe areas that need guarding. The second is a 15-foot tall humanoid made entirely of glass steel. This one isn't invisible, but it is completely transparent. It's also its primary attack form. The last form causes the golem to separate into particles the size of sand and swirl around like a tornado. The Red Steel Golem is one of the most dreaded creations in the Savage Coast. Similar to iron golems, but had half the weight, it is much more dangerous than the iron version of its type. They are highly intelligent for a golem, being able to identify and prioritize foes based on their threat. They are immune to non-magical weapons, and even low-powered magic weapons pose little threat to them. They have an aura that drains Cinebril, though thankfully it can't cause someone to mutate through the aura. And lastly, they are immune to most magic and resistant to the rest. Finally, there's the clockwork swordsmen. These are elaborate magical creations crafted by powerful wizards to serve as bodyguards or just to entertain them. They are sentient constructs, though still bound by the will of their creator. They lament not being truly alive and wonder what it would be like to actually have a soul. Being clockwork creations, they have to be wound frequently to stay functional, with the more powerful ones requiring a magical key to be wound. They try to avoid combat as it quickly depletes their operational time. They're known for being quite intelligent and charming, but having little in the way of common sense. They fear water because rust is one of the few ways they can truly die. Like magen, they frequently become free-willed on the death of their creator, and will often search out new friends to help them find a way to acquire a soul. That's it for the constructs. The setting does love its artificial creations. There's a few others I left out to give them a video of their own. Plus, there's only so much you can talk about a golem before you're repeating yourself. So I need a new topic, and next up is the Pragmati, a mysterious group of assassins that actually are open to other ways to deal with problems rather than just murder. But until next week, remember, any attempt to arrest a senior officer of OCP results in shutdown.